Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending upon where you're joining us from today. My name is Natalie Kramer, and I'm the Vice President of Brand and Channel Management here at VA. I also have the privilege of being your host and moderator for today's session, Value Add Capabilities for Next Gen IBM i2 Performance. Before we get started, I'd just like to quickly cover off a few housekeeping items to help us all get the most out of today's session. First, I do need to let you know that today's session is being recorded and will be available for playback from our YouTube channel. Also, if I can ask you all to just please make sure that your microphones stay muted. And finally, we will have time for questions at the end of today's session. If you have a question, please feel free to type it into the chat located in the upper right-hand corner of your screen at any point in time during today's presentation. If we're unable to get to your question during the session, we will follow up with you individually afterwards. Do you have a blind spot in your data? Names, dates, addresses, financial account numbers. These are typically found in structured data sets and can be ingested, searched, and analyzed within a relational database toolset like IBM i2 relatively easily. While this information is certainly helpful, it doesn't necessarily tell the whole story, does it? Data has become the world's most valuable commodity, but rarely does it come in a neatly organized or predefined model. So what if you could spend less time preparing your data for ingestion and analysis and get right to understanding not only the who, but the why? At VA, our mission is simple. It's to empower our clients with best-of-breed solutions to gain insights from disparate data. And today we are so excited to be able to introduce you to one of our partner solutions, Rosoka Text Analytics. Rosoka is a powerful, cost-effective, multilingual relationship and entity extraction tool that delivers value-add capabilities for next-gen IBM i2 performance. I'd like to go ahead and introduce you to Sam Erskine, our General Manager here at VA, to share a bit more about the value of Rosoka. So Sam, over to you.
Great, thanks a lot, Natalie. Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning here from Queensland. Look, I always enjoy these sessions with Rosoka. We've had a couple of series now, and I'm especially looking forward to Samal's topic this morning. We've partnered with Rosoka for a couple of years now, and every time we do these sessions, and every time we go and have conversations with customers when they're really needing some help to get those insights out of the disparate data, one of those sticking points is the unstructured part that they have. A lot of data that customers have are lovely and structured, their databases, and they require a bit of help to get that into a particular point so we can do analysis using i2. Rosoka extends that, and it's quite exciting. There's a lot of things going on inside Rosoka, and we'll see that shortly. The ability to scale, besides all of the analytical components inside Rosoka, to extract those entities from the unstructured data. And when we're talking unstructured, I'm talking, documents. It could be a scrape from a website and those sorts of things. The ability to take that information out across different platforms. So when I say platforms, what you're going to see today is Samal using his work laptop and being able to put Rosoka there. Rosoka will be up and running, be connected directly into Analyst Notebook, which a lot of our customers, all of our customers have across Asia Pacific. And they can actually take this laptop out in the field. So, something very relevant. It could be a COVID testing station. It could be some sort of contact tracing. And they quickly need to go in and analyze some unstructured data and find out, well, who are these people in here and who were they connected to. I can take that straight out and start using it in the field. And it doesn't matter if the document is in different languages. Rosoka doesn't provide translation. It gives you that sentiment analysis. So it will interpret words in other languages that it understands, and it'll put that on the chart and extract that. So if there's a word that is in Italian for a particular location, it'll put that up on the chart and tell you, oh, this word, it means a location or a location. It could be a series of words which it identifies as a Spanish name for a person, like Peter and Pedro. It'll identify those things and bring it out, saying, well, there's a person here and that link to that location. So you get this multilingual extraction. You may have gotten a statement out in the field. You may be at a homicide investigation or something else. You can do all of this on your laptop. And then as an agency's maturity progresses, they need to ingest more documents. They want to include this as part of their workflow. This is where Rosoka grows with our customers. It has an enterprise offering. It has mid-level tier type capabilities where it may be just an intelligence cell, and then you want to expand that out to a wider part of the organization. So not only does it extract the entities, it extracts relationships between those entities. So it interprets the information in the unstructured document and takes you on that journey to tell you everything that's going on, not just the fact that it's set a location in the document. It tells you why, and it links it to that through reading the documents. As I said, it's robust and scalable. And look, I just get excited. These were things many, many years ago when I was an analyst that, we were reading all the statements, we were reading documents that were brought into us, and we had to manually go through and work out what that was. And then there were some analytics engines that came out on the market, and, we'd look at those over time. And there's a nervousness in customers saying, well, what happens if the system doesn't read everything? There still has to be a human, and that's where Rosoka's clean, easy to use interface through i2 it helps the customer move through that workflow and move through and actually using it. It's very intuitive. So as I said, look, I get really excited about using Rosoka. I get excited working with customers, watching their eyes light up when they just went, wow, I've just given it these 6 documents. I've now got a chart. I can interpret it. I can then brief a team on that. It's been a matter of half an hour, whereas if they had to sit there with those documents and try and read them and manually create the charts, all of a sudden they're getting this massive time saving, or they're getting that time to decision is shrinking for them. They're getting decisions out and they're getting those briefings out. So I won't steal any more of Smile's thunder. He's going to do a great job. Just take away those 4 things that were on the chart there. That was just exactly what it is. It's scalable, it's multilingual, it does exactly what you need. Let's get into the demo. Thanks a lot, Smile.
Thanks, Sam. All right, guys, let's just share my screen. Okay, so I'm just sharing my screen now, and I'm sure this is an interface everyone's quite familiar with, which is just Analyst Notebook. Now, if we move over to the far right of the screen, you're going to see this window here, which is the Rosoka tab. Inside of here, I've got 5 documents that I've already harvested, and it's already pulled all the entities out of. Now, what I'm going to do for the purpose of the demo is I'll add one more document to this list, and I'll let that extract while we're on the call. Now you notice that these are all solid blue, indicating that these have already been harvested, whereas this one I just added is not solid as it's still being harvested. So while that's going, we'll have a look at what we've got so far. So on this first document here, we'll see that we have El Chapo. Now, the purpose of for the purpose of today's demo, I'm an analyst, and my boss has asked me to find out information about this person, El Chapo, and he wants to know all the persons and organizations that El Chapo or Joaquin Guzman is linked to. So straight away, you can see that it's tagged him here as an entity, a person entity, and it's also tagged every single time he's mentioned inside the document. You'll also notice that in a different green color, it's tagged places, so United States and Mexico. Now, if we travel over to the right-hand side while I have my person of interest highlighted, you notice that it has the properties it's pulled up for him. So his attributes, such as that he's a male, his given name's Joaquin, and surname is Guzman. If we go a bit further down, you're also going to see each of the things that he's linked to inside of this document only. So he's linked to 2 crime incidences. facility to money, etc. So that gives me a very quick way to look at this document and find out where my person interest is on the document and what he's linked to. Now, if I just click over onto this side here, I'm also going to find every entity that the document has pulled up. So we've got some crime entities here, drug entity, and a few others. Below that, it also shows every single link it's pulled up inside of this one document. So that very quickly has given me an overview of the document and what's on there. Now, as Sam said earlier, while it's not an exact translation, it does also, the tool also allows me to quickly look at something in a different language, such as this Dutch document. And if I go over to the right-hand side and hit this toggle gloss button, it gives me a very quick conversion, not exact translation, and allows me to quickly understand what the text is saying. So here it says, drug lord Joaquin Guzman is, so probably on Wednesday, convicted to a lifetime imprisonment in Mexico. And his real name is Joaquin Guzman. Obviously, it's not grammatically accurate, but as an English speaker, it allows me to very quickly understand the document. Same as we saw in a moment ago, it's still pulling up each of the entities, such as the drug trafficking and particular drugs, such as cocaine and heroin. So again, a very quick way to overview a document that's in a different language. And similar to before, it's pulling out all the entities here, links here, and if I tag someone specific like Joaquin, his attributes are found here, and his links are here. Now that we've had a look at a couple of documents, what I'll do is move over to the Entities tab that you find here. So this is a list of every entity it's pulled out between the 5 documents that it has already harvested. So again, I'm interested in Joaquin Guzman in particular. So I can find him here on my chart, click send to, and if we just give it a moment, it's going to bring him over to the chart. Now, again, my mission today is to find out what persons and organizations he's linked to. So once I've hit Rosoka expand, I have a little window here. If I tag persons and orgs and hit expand, it'll now look through each of the documents and each of the entities pulled up and pull out the results. So we can see here it's got 3 organizations: Mexican government, Sinaloa cartel, and Hells Angels. And then it's also pulled out a few different links of people or persons. Now that it's pulled this out, if I want to dig a little bit deeper, so I might want to see where each of these organizations are based, I could just go expand, hit place. And I can see now that the Sinaloa cartel is based out of Mexico. One other thing I'd want to do, because as good as the tool is, if I want to make sure that what it's put out is accurate, you can see here that it says that this person here, Emma Cornell, is a familial link. To double check the accuracy, I can right click on the entity in question, click on show in documents, and it's now going to pull up the 2 documents that mentions this person, Emma Cornell. So straight away, when I read this very top line here, it says here, he, which is Joaquin Guzman, blew a kiss to his wife, Emma Cornell. So straight away, I can say, yes, this is an accurate link, and she is a familial link to my person of interest, who is Joaquin Guzman or El Chapo. There is also a German document here. And again, I can quickly gloss that. And then it says here, Joaquin Guzman in a grey suit appeared next to, I assume this is his missus, Emma Cornell. So again, backing up the fact that this is a familial link. So now that we've done that, I mean, in less than 10 minutes, I've gone through 5 documents, something I definitely couldn't have read in 10 minutes, pulled out each of the entities contained inside those documents, which is what I'm looking for, persons and orgs. Saved me a lot of time. And now, just before we finish off, I'll have a look at that Spanish document that we began the processing of earlier, and just finish the harvesting off and see what we can pull out of it. So we'll just give this a moment. Okay, cool. So it's pulled it out now, and same as before, it's picked my person of interest and tagged a few other entities inside the document. Now, instead of going over this or reading it in its English format, I can just close that off and do another expand. And now that that document has been harvested, I can just see what orgs and persons were linked there. And I can see here 2 more entities and 4 more links have been added to the chart. So now all I need to do is tidy up my chart here, and I've got everything I need to send off to my boss. And that was all done in a lot less time than it would have taken me if I was to do this manually. So I hope that was a helpful demo and a very quick way of showing you what this tool could do. I'll hand it over now for any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Samal. Appreciate the demo. I know he shared a lot of information there in a really short period of time. So we'll pause for just a moment to see if there's any additional questions that come through the chat. And again, if you do have questions, we will be able to follow up with you offline if you'd like to know more about Rosoka or see a deeper dive demo. Certainly happy to provide that after today's session. Okay, so we'll go ahead and wrap up. I really appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day to join us for this VA Worldwide Coffee Chat session. Thank you to Samal and Sam for joining us and for your presentations. If you'd like to follow up with us again, be sure to follow us on our LinkedIn page and Twitter. The playback of this recording will also be available from our YouTube channel. You can also give us a call, email us, reach out to Samal directly, or visit us at vaworldwide.com. We'd be happy to share further information with you about Rosoka. But again, we appreciate your time today and look forward to connecting with you in person, hopefully soon. Thank you and have a great day.